everyone. So I just wanted to briefly go over with you what is due for week 2 of our course in English 111. So you can feel free to follow along with the announcement that I've posted that's titled week 2. This is also on the syllabus and course calendar found under our class days for the week, which are August 25th and August 27th, okay? One of the key things I would like you to complete, as you've already done, hopefully, or you're in the process of doing now, is the pre-writing for essay number 1. And this is just so that I can give you feedback on what direction you're going in with the assignment. That way too, you kind of get an idea, well, am I on the right track or not? Okay, so I would like you to complete the pre-writing for essay 1, and to find that, and that's due tomorrow by 11 a.m., so Tuesday by 11 a.m., to find the pre-writing, what you will do on Blackboard is click on Assignments, Essay 1, and then it's that second link, it says Pre-writing for Essay 1 found here, okay? So I'm going to pull it up myself. So if you just go to Assignments, Essay number 1, and then you click on that second link there, the essay number 1 pre-writing, what's going to show up is actually this document here. I'm going to do my best to show you guys. What it is a series of questions that I have moved, hopefully this is showing up, from the prompt itself into question and answer format. So it's kind of like you're getting started on the essay without staring at a blank screen. You kind of have a sense of direction. Hopefully that will help in terms of you being able to get started and kind of get past that hurdle of starting. So you will actually fill out this worksheet in question and answer format. And you will be sure to provide a thesis statement, right? So I think there's a series of maybe 10 questions, and the 10th one is asking you to construct your thesis, which should outline the 2 rhetorical appeals that you plan to use out of ethos, pathos, and logos, and whether or not those are effective. Okay, so that's what's due by tomorrow at 11 a.m. If you've got questions about this, please ask me, but I'm going to do my best to get those grades to you ASAP once you've turned them in. And where you will find your feedback on the pre-writing for essay number 1 after you type directly in this document, right? So don't do a blank MLA template, type directly in the document I just showed you that's found under Assignments Essay 1 Pre-writing. Once you are finished with that, what you will do is actually upload that worksheet to Blackboard itself. So in that same folder, if you are under Assignments, so you click Assignments, Essay number 1, and then you scroll down and you click on Upload Pre-writing for Essay 1 here, you can see it's the second to last link and that you can upload your submission there. Then where you will find your feedback on that assignment is actually going to be under My Grades. So you're going to click My Grades on Blackboard, and you will see a blue link that corresponds with the pre-writing itself. And you will click that blue link, and you'll see a little speech bubble and a grade. And what you will have actually on Blackboard is an annotated document with my feedback in response to each of the questions that you have answered. So you want to be sure that you're actively engaging with that feedback. If you end up with any questions about that feedback, please be sure that you ask me, and I am more than happy to help you better understand it. But that is due by tomorrow at 11 a.m. So just make sure that you get that pre-writing done. Remember, it's just an easy and quick way to start the rough draft, and it's not meant to be a stressful assignment. It's meant to be an assignment that helps you not only start the paper, but go ahead and get feedback from me on how the paper is working and if what you're doing is effective and what needs to be changed, right? If you go to the announcement As well, I've kind of let you know that you've got some reading that's due. In the Wake Tech Reader, I would like you to read the chapter, I believe it starts on page 11, that is called Writing Fluid Sentences and Cohesive Paragraphs. This is an awesome chapter to keep in front of you as you're drafting Essay 1. There's a lot of pointers in here that you can pretty easily apply to your own writing strategies and check to see if you yourself are doing to kind of, pause and evaluate, well, am I taking the time to have as strong of a structure in the paper as possible. So it's going to be important that your ideas are strong, but it's going to be equally important that you present those ideas in an effective fashion, okay? So what you're going to do is just make sure that you turn to, let's see, that page. Yeah, so it's page 11 in the Wake Tech Reader. Starts here, looks like this. Make sure you read that, Writing Fluid Sentences and Cohesive Paragraphs. I would put a sticky note in that chapter and reference it throughout the course of the semester as you draft Essay 1, 2, 3, and even minor assignments. Kind of goes over transitions, how to construct your paragraphs effectively, starting with the topic sentence, right, narrowing down your ideas, getting to the point, so on and so forth. So make sure you do that reading. In addition to that, something that I have noted for you is that I'd like you to read a few things in the Purple Book. So I'd also mark these chapters as being super important in the Rules for Writers book. So I would like you to read chapter 3 that begins on page 40, and it's called Building Effective Paragraphs. So that goes hand in hand with the reading that you have in this book. I would read that, I would take notes. It's another chapter that I would reference as much as possible when you are drafting essay number 1. In addition to that, what I have said to read in this Purple Book is the chapter on quotation marks. It goes over how to effectively use quotes in the context of an academic paper. That's a really short chapter. You can see I just said it falls on page 296 to page 302. So if I turn to page 296 just to show you what this looks like, essentially why this is so useful is it gives you visuals of how to include direct quotations in your text itself, okay? So you will actually have visuals and you can see that you shouldn't drop quotes in. It's going to show you how and in what way you should use quotation marks, how you should use them when you're referencing a short work, how you should use them again when you are working with quoted material, which is mainly what I'm concerned with and think will help you. So make sure you read this chapter, and then if you've got any questions at all, please let me know. I will probably be filming a video on how to cite in text just to make sure that you all are on board with that and you understand how to cite in text in MLA. It's very easy. Essentially, all you need to do when you use a direct quote is be sure that in parentheses you include the author's last name and the page number that you got the quote from. You don't write page, you just actually write the number. So an example would be you put Smith in parentheses and 96. So Smith 96 in parentheses at the end of your quoted material. Okay, so that's something that I would just keep in mind. That chapter goes over that really effectively, in my opinion. Something else that you have to do that goes hand in hand with that reading is on, let's see, so tonight by 11:59 p.m., what I would like you to do is complete the quotation marks exercise, which is found under tests and quizzes. So if you're on Blackboard and you click that tests and quizzes tab, you'll see that the quotation marks exercise shows up right away. You get multiple attempts, right? So you can take it as many times as you'd like to. You get immediate feedback, and I would like you to use that as a study tool to help you moving forward as you use quotes in essay essay number 1, okay? And when I grade the pre-writing, I will try to give you feedback on how your quoted material is working. That's one thing I would stress, is that you should use quoted material in the pre-writing itself so that I can see how and in what way you plan to engage with quotes, and whether or not you're using quotes effectively, okay? So that's due as well. And then if you're looking at our announcements, pretty simple. What you've got due for Thursday is the first draft of essay number 1 needs to be emailed to me sometime by 11 a.m. Okay, so it can be before, but you want to send me your rough draft of essay number 1, and then I would like you to set up a time to conference with me for feedback. So once you get that to me via email, it'd probably be a good idea to set up a time to conference with me. I'll try to provide them feedback, but it's always good to have a face-to-face meeting to help you make sense of that feedback as well. If you've got questions that I don't address as well, then that would be the time to ask me, right? If you've already done a lot of paper 1 and you want to go ahead and send that to me, you can, right? If you're already at the 3-page mark, for instance. But if not, that's due by Thursday at 11 a.m. And then there are some readings on Blackboard that you should do. One of them, and this was actually listed for Tuesday, but one of them is the Rhetorical Appeals Model Notes. This gives you an idea of what ethos, pathos, and logos mean. Just kind of a way to think about those terms in a different context. So if you click on resources and then you click on additional readings, what you want to do is then click on that document that's titled Rhetorical Appeals Model Notes, okay? So you will then click on the Rhetorical Appeals Model Notes document, and you will take notes on that. It's also meant to help you complete essay number 1. So be sure that you take a look at that if you have not already. In addition to that, there is a reading on Blackboard under additional readings called So What, Who Cares? That's again found if you click on the left-hand side, resources, and then additional readings. So it's titled So What, Who Cares? Saying Why It Matters. And then in the Rules for Writers book, I have asked you to review the chapters on fragments and run-ons. So the one on fragments is on page 166 to page 173. And the run-on sentences is pages 173 to 179. If you know that you struggle with fragments and run-ons, these are going to be really useful chapters for you that kind of give you tools to fix these errors. If not, it's just useful review, mark those chapters, have them handy, and look at them throughout the course of the semester, especially when you draft essay number 1. I also would like you to read Revising, Editing, and Reflecting in this book, which is on page 21 to page 39. That is just going to give you some techniques to apply when you are drafting the actual essay 1 assignment. So it's kind of like what you turn into me on Thursday by 11 a.m. is going to be the first draft of the paper, but there's a lot of room actually to edit it, reflect on my comments, revise the document, and then of course resubmit it and get further feedback from me or the ILC. Okay, so I did just want to go ahead and make this video to let you guys know what's due for this week. There's also the fragments quiz that is due by the 31st, no later than 11:59 p.m. So I'm going to just check my calendar. So the 31st is Monday. So just make sure that you do that fragments exercise. It's found under tests and quizzes by August 31st at 11:59 p.m. I am available all week for conferencing and tutoring calls. So if you need any additional help, please feel free to reach out and to ask me. That's what I'm here for. I look forward to talking to many of you soon, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. Let me know how and in what ways I can help. Bye.